As most of you all know, I had gallbladder surgery, gallbladder removed, and hernia repair, umbilical hernia repair, I think 6 weeks ago. And so for the past, it actually is about 8 weeks, almost 8 weeks now, that I haven't even had any TRT or anything like that, no use at all. And it's been the 6 weeks that I haven't trained, that I haven't eaten like a bodybuilder. I haven't paid a whole lot of attention to protein and stuff. And I've used this as a time to really turn up that plant-based nutrition, because I've been moving toward that anyway. I've really turned that up. And what I've added alongside of that now is I have tried as much as possible to eliminate processed foods from my diet, and that's like really difficult to do. If you don't really think it's difficult, give it a try, man, because the shit's in everything. It's expensive to do. I don't care how many people tell you that, it's not more expensive to eat healthy. Yeah, it is, really. If you go that far, you're trying to get rid of processed stuff from your diet. I will say this. When I switched to more plant-based vegetable matter in my diet, when I turned that up, I absolutely felt the difference that it made in my just overall sense of well-being, feeling of well-being, energy levels, and just feeling good and feeling healthy. But when I threw on top of that, cutting back on that processed shit, man, then I really, really had an epiphany. I mean, it's probably the best thing that I've actually learned. God, I don't even know what to compare it to. It's that huge. You can think what you want to do, but I'll give you a challenge. Try and eliminate processed foods as much as you possibly can for 30 days. And then I will bet you're going to come back and you're going to say to me, yeah, you were right. I feel great. You're going to feel completely different. It's a huge, huge, huge difference. The garbage and the toxins and crap. But, let's put that aside for a minute. We're definitely going to revisit that in other videos. So here's where we're at and what I'm going to do. I'm getting back into training. Yeah, I lost size. All right, now when I hurt my shoulder that time, I was out of training for 7 or 8 months, and you can see through the videos, I really didn't lose a lot of size. And I was off, for that whole time. I was off longer than that. I was off probably 9 months, because when I came back, I just trained as natural for a while, and then I went with the TRT thing. Now, what I'm going to do now is, I feel great. I don't feel tired or lethargic or anything, so I think I'm going to start my training again if I choose to, right out of the box, resume TRT. It will be at 250 milligrams a week, or 200 milligrams a week. I think that's more than sufficient for my body. Like I've told you before, it's the same way with the protein, okay? It takes more to acquire the muscle than it does afterwards to maintain it. You can maintain it on far less of everything than what it took you to acquire it in the first place. And the reason for that, of course, is now we understand that we not only hypertrophy and enlarge existing muscle cells, but we acquire new muscle. We actually acquire additional nuclei that are ours to keep forever. So that's never going to go away. So that's why, that explains why. Yes, you may have consumed more protein to initially develop that musculature, but then later on, just to keep it, you really don't need as much. It doesn't require as much. And it's the same thing with the test levels. But I don't want to get too far off track here. We're going to come back to all this another time. But I'm going to get ready to do a little thing where I'm going to get into shape. And now here's the shape I want to get into. I want to get back to my roots and some of the kind of things I enjoyed before I even ever started really training, lifting weights and making any progress. So I still am going to lift the weights, and I'm going to see what kind of physique I end up with. But I'm not going to sacrifice a whole bunch of stuff just for the sake of just mass. It's not going to happen. I'm going to lean down, okay, because the weight is bad for your heart. Doesn't matter if you're obese or if you're muscular. And I'm going to tell you something right now that you're going to find hard to believe. And again, we'll get into it later in another video more in greater depth. I believe there's evidence to suggest that, well, more than suggest, I believe it's true. I believe there's evidence that will convince you that in many aspects it's less healthy to be, 275, 300 pounds, depending on your height, right? For me, I'm saying 270 to 300 pounds. It's less healthy for me to be those numbers on the scale with most of it being muscle than it would be if I was 270 to 300 pounds and I was an obese, fat person. If I was really that fat, I think really being that fat at 300 pounds is healthier in many regards than carrying around all the muscle. I think that carrying around that muscle is a harder strain on your heart than if it were fat, because of the enhanced capillary system and everything else that goes with it. But like I said, one more thing we're going to get to later. A lot of things are getting ready to happen. I'm going to be putting in a lot more videos, a lot more content, and a lot more information, things that I've learned, and just throw it out there and see what resonates with you guys. If you agree, you disagree, and we'll interact. And I've learned a lot from you so far, and I look forward to learning a lot more. And I appreciate all the advice people have given me, especially about veganism and about plant protein and all these really good tidbits of things. So next week, I'm going to start back this weekend, beginning this weekend, to lifting again. But I'm going to video, and the videos will run behind so that you can keep up with me. So they'll actually start to show next week. You see what I'm saying? So that way I can get them up on the same day, just a week behind, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, etc. And I'm going to show you what I do, what days I do it, how I do it, and the most important aspect of it is going to be the nutrition. What I do nutrition-wise. If I go back on TRT, I'm not in any hurry because I feel great. If I do, I'm going to tell you that too. How much and every other thing. When, I'm going to tell you the whole 9 yards. And I'm mostly doing this because I want the truth to be out there. I don't want to, keep it all secretive and leave pieces out. So I want to cover the workouts, how I'm working out, why I do what I do. The nutrition, what I'm eating, and when I'm eating, and you're going to see that my diet is a lot different than it would have been like a year ago even, or 2 years ago, 3 years ago, drastically different from 3 years ago. But I'm going to show you what I'm eating, why I'm eating it, how much I'm eating, how often I'm eating, and when I have to resort to eating anything that I think is, not the healthiest approach, but it's how I'm going to do it or what I'm doing, right? For instance, if I turn to like whey isolate as a supplement, which, yeah, I will be, because I need to get the protein in there. I'm not out in the wild, a gorilla in the wild, right? Gorilla. I'm not that kind of gorilla that's out in the wild and just can eat all day long plant matter, okay? I don't have that kind of digestive tract. I can't just sit there all day and eat such a huge copious amount of plant matter to get the totality of the protein numbers that I want to hit. And again, these numbers are going to be much lower than what you would expect a guy at my size, and as you see me grow, you're going to be, maybe some of you are going to disbelieve that there's the actual numbers, and that's actually the only amount of protein I'm taking in, but I'm going to be honest about it. And it is what it is. It just is what it is. But I'm going to show you how I'm going to do it. And this is especially directed toward older guys, man. I think it would be awesome if you go along with me, follow along with me, get yourself back into shape. Okay, we're talking about the cardio. Any other training I do too, I'm going to put in there. Other things besides lifting weights, but plenty of lifting weights. So I think it's going to be fun. And I want you guys to come along with me. And let's see what happens. Now, This is going to be one of these kind of things. It's not going to be a thing where you hang in there and you watch me and you don't really see much change. No, this is going to be top to bottom, you know, just showing you what I look like in like a pair of skivvies or something, so you can see the legs, the abs, the midsection, all that shit. I don't usually like to show off and act like that it's all about physical appearance, but just for the sake of education, you know, and you know what's really happening, you need to be able to see it. So you're going to see me, and my goal is I'm constructing this with the intention that I want to become very lean, not so lean it's unhealthy, not that lean, but definitely into the single digits, the high single digits. Pretty lean. Like I said, I don't want all that weight on my heart. So I want to see how big I will be, because I like being big. I'm not going to bullshit you. I want to show you how big I can be, but I want to lean down and streamline. I don't want to be big, walking around 12%, 13% or some shit like that. I want to be big, walking around at maybe 8% or something. 9%, 8%, maybe 7%. We'll see what happens. Just, you know, it depends how I feel and how it all shakes out. But I don't want to carry around an unnecessary amount of weight. That way I can actually still be lighter, you know. So, yeah, I'll be lighter, but I'll be plenty big, and we'll just see where it goes, man. You know, it's an open book. We'll see what happens. So that's going to be starting next week. So the next day or two, I want to tell you the kind of things I'm going to be utilizing, right? As far as like L-carnitine, you know, my stuff, what I'm going to use before I get on my treadmill, and just all these kind of things. The carbolin, as you know. I'm just going to go over all this. I'm going to set it out there and say, this is what I use here, this is what I use there. That way, if you guys want to join me, you have time to get the shit together and just follow along. So basically, it's going to be a whole lot like as if I were putting together like a training program for you and a diet program. It's going to be a whole lot like that, and I'm going to cover as many of the bases as I can. It's not going to be perfect because it's over the internet and everybody's an individual, right? But it's not just going to be for me. I'm going to allow room where I would say, now this is what I'm doing, this is what I weigh, this is why I'm doing it, this is how my metabolism tends to go. But if I had a slower metabolism just naturally, and if I weighed this, or if I had that kind of body type, I would do this differently. You understand? So, you know, I'd like everybody to join me, but I especially want older fellas to join along, man. Let's get back in shape, and it's not too late, you know. Halloween's coming, and it's my favorite holiday, so at least I should be in hella good shape, better shape than I have been in years for Halloween. So what the hell? All right, so come along, let's do it.